Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So let's poke the bear more. Let's talk more about Alliance War changes, and obviously more specifically about the loyalty store and what kind of impact this entire change is going to bring. So what I want people to understand from the get-go, I or pretty much nobody in top tier alliances, as far as we have communicated together, is against the loyalty store. On the quite contrary, I think it's a very cool addition. I really do think that this will significantly reward people who do play Alliance War, just do it much more casually. I think lower tier Alliance War players are finally catching a break, gaining an ability to get some meaningful resources for an activity that they do in the game at less competitive level. I think that is amazing. I really truly do, and here's why. I also think that this change to the loyalty store, given the fact that Alliance War is by far the primary source of loyalty in the game to begin with, is going to incentivize more people to dip their toes in Alliance War. Because Alliance War long since has not really been worth the play. In terms of what amount of time you invested, how much energy you need, how much coordination you need in order to perform relatively well in Alliance War, many people just don't care about it at all. And having this loyalty store here, you're going to incentivize newer players or people who have long since abandoned Alliance War to get back in it. Not to compete for masters, but to do the job, you know, to clear the lane and to be part of the team. And I think that's awesome. That's a really good change. And I want to help everybody understand that. Loyalty store itself is not a problem in any reasonable measure. I think it's good. Simple. I think this change could have gone in the game as an amazing change, as one of the best pro player war changes in a long time. The problem right now is, with the current setup, that 5,000 loyalty awards you half a tier 6 basic catalyst and half a tier 3 alpha catalyst, respectively. Now, to put it in perspective, comparatively speaking to rank rewards, landing in top 10 masters give you 9,000 tier 3 alpha fragments. So, with this current setup right now, for instance, using your loyalty and trying to play Alliance Wars the best you can, will award you 9,000 tier 3 alpha fragments and 11,000 tier 6 basic fragments in a season. So if you do that for 2 seasons, you're going to end up with like 18,000 tier 3 alpha fragments and 22,000 tier 6 basic fragments. Not doing that and still playing somewhat relatively, high alliance tier, just, not using any items, just using the one loyalty revives, will actually get you more. Because you can get that 500k loyalty a season or so. So here we have a change that incentivizes new players start playing Alliance War and kind of dip their toes in, no matter their progression level. This change at the same time completely disincentivizes anybody from using any items in Alliance War, just because loyalty is now much more worth than anything you get actually for playing the game mode. And if you don't see a problem with a competitive game mode that actively punishes you for playing said game mode and gives you less rewards than not playing the said game mode seriously and just using, the minimum one loyalty approach, then I don't think I can help you. It, at the same time, pretty much completely shatters the entire point of playing Alliance Wars and trying in Alliance Wars. To put it in perspective, we can also see here 6-star signature stone, for example. You get 5 6-star signature stones for 150,000 loyalty. You see, one potion costs 25,000 loyalty. So, to rough out the math, and it's not exact there, using a potion in a war will now equal losing a signature stone. So you can be in a war and things like, do I use this 9,000 HP potion on my champion and make sure I don't die? Or I take a 6-star signature stone. You'd be idiot to use that potion. 6-star signature stones are obviously more valuable. There are obviously more people who are extremely upset about it, and in fact, pretty much any alliance that plays somewhat meaningful level of alliance war, and I don't want to sound snobbish here, I'm talking about, you know, plat 2, 3, plat 1, 2, 3 masters type of teams. Basically, the alliance who actually do boost and potion up, stuff like that, are all effectively discouraged right now from doing so. Only people who are encouraged are the ones who don't blink an eye of substituting all of these potions with units. Those are the only people who can make it worthwhile to play Alliance War right now. Here's a good kind of like breakdown of how an average season goes for somebody who plays well, tries hard for top 10 masters, and effectively you end up losing quite a bit of loyalty. A lot of people didn't notice that or realize that or figured that we are actually netting a loyalty loss on average because of that 1 million or 2 million loyalty boost that we got before the season started. So at the moment, as far as I know, a significant amount, if not most of the Masters Alliances are actually in between themselves discussing just doing one loyalty wars for as long as its silly system is in place. And as I said, that I understand this change is good for lower tier Alliance War players who don't play overly hard and are playing the game mode relatively casually. Here's what I also ask the lower tier Alliance War players to understand. If Kabam encourages top players not to take Alliance War seriously, then how do you think who are the Masters Alliances going to end up going up against? Whilst saving loyalty and only using, you know, some casual boosts that they have without purchasing them by loyalty, with only using 40% revives, yeah, the death counts are going to increase, but they're going to still will be easily able to beat an average plat 2, plat 3 alliance based on the size of their defense and offensive options alone. So, whilst everybody has a ton of loyalty stashed away and you're super happy about loyalty store coming, this is going to cause quite huge cascading effect. Many top tier alliances will start shelling now without a doubt, and I can't blame them for that. It was a stupid practice that I not ever like, and we had largely gotten rid of. If you do not know what shelling means, it's basically migrating an alliance that's, let's say, masters capable into an alliance that's about plat 2 or something in Alliance War rating, and just beating plat 2 alliances in a very easy fashion with hardly any use of items because their rosters are that much better. There's going to be tons of alliances doing that right now because Kabam 100% encouraged that. Because Kabam absolutely discouraged trying to get into, you know, higher tiers and brackets. And again, on a personal level, this just completely destroys the idea of Alliance War has never been worth, or Alliance War has not been worth the rewards for a very long time. The amount of effort and time and resources that you have to invest in order to do well in a competitive Alliance War was never proportionally rewarded. Pretty much everybody in top tier war alliances do it for their love of the competition, because they compete with other good players, because this is at the moment currently the most competitive and exciting game mode in the game. I understand that not everybody feels that way, but I guarantee you people that play Alliance War seriously and do try their best do it because of that, not because it ever yielded the best amazing rewards in the game. But it also never punished you for trying. Also never directly said, if you try, you're going to get less rewards than if you don't. And that is what Kabam has done here. And it was absolutely mind-boggling when they refused to update Alliance War season rewards, as they were extremely outdated as is and become completely obsolete in the face of this loyalty store. I could talk even more about these class boosts, which is obviously also, in my opinion, insufficient limits right there. And it is quite clear that virtually all of these changes have been made with an intention of squeezing out more units of hardcore Alliance War players. In case of class boosts, even if you wanted to use your loyalty in order to purchase a ton of class boosts, you can't now anymore. So they were counting and gambling on the fact that top tier alliances are going to be buying these 250 and 125 unit class boosts. Well, on top of that, obviously with this loyalty store existing, they're discouraging people to use loyalty in order to heal up. They're counting on the fact that people will use units instead. And I am quite confident in saying that they will achieve the complete opposite effect. That a significant portion, if not vast majority of the alliances who currently do try an alliance war, who currently do aim to land in Plat 1 in Masters, rush for top 3, will simply stop doing that. Because that is the best plan. The best plan is do as well as you can without spending any loyalty. Which means say goodbye to Masters top 10, which means say goodbye to trying for top 3, which means say hello to likely beating up Plat 2 and 3 alliances into submission every single war without having to spend any loyalty, landing somewhere in Plat 1, Plat 2. Like the realistic scenario, many of the current Masters alliances are going to end up somewhere in Plat 1 next season. They're going to sacrifice 5,000 6-star shards, but will get basically the same or extremely similar amount of other rank rewards, and will use the loyalty to purchase the Awakening Gem or rank 4 materials, because there are way more of that in the game than there are in the rank rewards. And the stupidest thing of all of that is that there is a very easy solution that would satisfy pretty much everybody. The stupidest thing is that they only needed to do one of the two things. They needed to increase rank rewards to a point where it is worth making a decision, where you get rank 4 materials at a sufficient degree for finishing in Masters that can rival the loyalty store, and then every alliance can make a decision for themselves whether they want to take a chill season, they're going to get the loyalty store rewards and shittier rank rewards, or they want to say goodbye to loyalty store and not save any loyalty for the season, but rank rewards would be sufficient to offset these numbers. If finishing in Masters, for instance, gave you a full tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha catalyst, you'd think to yourself, that is better than being able to buy half of it. Therefore, if you have the roster, if you have the desire to compete, you're not making a fool of yourself for trying to do so. That is the most easy and straightforward solution. Increase rank rewards to a sufficient degree where the loyalty store doesn't look like the absolute W, and you can make an educated decision whether this season you will get your rewards from loyalty store, or you're going to try and get as good of rank rewards as you can. Or alternatively, just add in a huge chunk of loyalty to the rank rewards that obviously scales to where you place. Simple. One of those two things would have completely avoided all of the crap that's about to come. They just had to make playing Alliance War actually worth it. And they didn't. And right now, as I said, I'm not mad or upset or against the loyalty store. I think it's a cool addition to the game. I think it rewards more casual Alliance War players. I think they deserved a break for a very, very long time. I'm super happy for you. I think in addition of all of that, it will also encourage a ton of players to start playing Alliance War at a relatively casual level. And then who knows, perhaps they like it and perhaps they would want to try. But right now, there's just no incentive for anybody to ever try an Alliance War with the rewards proportionality such as it exists right now. Now, obviously, these class boosts, in my opinion, also need to be increased at the very least to 2 of the purchase limit per week, at the bare minimum, because Alliance War is not the only place where we use these. It is the main place where we use these, but it's definitely not the only place where we use these. And shelling them out like this will just needlessly complicate it for officers. Like we have people who typically use Apocalypse, for instance, as their main war attacker, and they're going to use typically mutant power boosts. We have people who use CGR, for instance, most often, and they typically use cosmic power boosts. Now, it's not going to be that alliances send in people without these boosts to do the fights. It's going to be that they consistently need to shift which person is allowed or able to use which one of these champions. So here, the limit needs to be increased realistically to at least 2 per week before they are trying to grab your units. Now, rest of the changes, I'm not going to speak much, but the way things stand, I understand that there are people very happy about this, and I'm happy for you. But I also think a lot of those people do not understand the kind of like escalation that is going to happen. And if you, again, currently play Plat 2 and Plat 3, then get ready to face a ton of alliances with, you know, double and triple the size of your rosters that are going to stomp a lot of smaller alliances, because that is exactly what's going to happen. Shelling is going to go through the roof, and even if the alliances won't shell, they will just, you know, lower their war rating down by losing some season wars, because even by losing, you get like, what, 50,000 loyalty in tier 1 per war? It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So, I think ABAM does not understand what kind of shit show they have unleashed upon this entire game mode. And it's just so tiresome. It's just so exhausting to deal with all of the bullshit that Kabam does. Anyways, I'll definitely keep you guys posted on this subject, because there are a couple more things that I want to discuss. But for now, let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about